Jurassic Park. Life. Entropy finds a way.
So here's how we're starting the show today. Take a look at the screen up there, Will.
Okay. I'm going to guess it's not in Nebraska. I mean, that boy learned something, okay?
All right, we're starting it off good.
Dude, horses,
camel,
scare the shit out of me. That age 4. Nice, there you go.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running.
Definitely don't email me pictures of your husband in his bathtub to that address up there.
Unless they're Brett Favre, D-pics. In which case we'll talk about them on the show.
Yeah. How y'all doing? You like that opening clip with that camel just murking that child?
That was hilarious. Welcome to the show, everybody.
I play that because it's something I never had to deal with as a child.
Can you translate the Arabic? That's what I want to know.
I can.
Okay.
It says, hello, how funny. There's literally a laughing face. This kid's probably got... if you look in the background, it doesn't look like they have a civic center or an urgent care or a hospital. And that kid got smoked.
But listen, I mean...
Why is there always tires? Whenever there's litter, there's just tires.
Because it's the Middle East, and the Middle East is kind of a dump. People
Hey,
just leave
whoa.
their crap everywhere.
Whoa. It was the height of, society at one point.
Yeah.
That was title opener. This one is Close 16.
I'll grant you, in the 1500 BC, it was it was the height. It was the place to be, man. But things have changed a little bit.
And then for some reason, I put this up with the opener too. I don't even know what this clip is.
In the Islamic Golden Age, I was a fan of that. I don't, the Mongols kind of threw a monkey wrench in that a little bit, but
this one doesn't have sound.
It can't come back.
This one doesn't have sound.
We will make the Middle East great again.
This lady just has an elephant. This isn't like Texas or something.
Yeah. I like elephants.
They're cool.
They can be
I've ridden one.
Dangerous.
Of course. If an ant was that big, it'd be dangerous.
Yeah. Well, ants are.
Well, your
that
ant
big.
is almost that big. Oh.
Yeah. We need the producer. Man, I don't.
Oh yeah. I forgot. We'll get into it in a minute, but we're gonna have to say our RIPs to our producer.
Maybe we could live stream him.
Maybe
from like a lake in Minnesota.
Joking. Oh, dude, he's already been catching fish.
Oh, nice.
I told him to take pictures. We're gonna highlight his trip to Minnesota. But yeah, this lady just had an elephant. And it's just moving a log out of the road for her. I just thought that was neat. I think I muted it because
I wish like we could talk to elephants with like AI or something.
It's gonna happen.
Okay,
I guarantee it'll happen. They're already trying to decipher crows and dolphins. We'll pull up an article on a future episode. But AI is gonna help us with all that stuff coming up soon. But yeah.
All right, my hair looks like shit. I don't need everyone giving me a hard time about how crappy my hair looks. Okay, all right.
I'll join the club.
I got a face for radio. Okay.
I'll make mine extra bad.
Yeah. See, you have nice hair though. At least it's like you got like the
It's a legit mullet. I actually got it cut into a mullet as a kind of a joke. But
what's kind of like the goth punk band that I'm thinking of from like the
AFI?
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking of just onset early dementia. I can't even think of the band right now. It'll come to me if I stop thinking about it.
I just got like 4 bad haircuts in a row.
Yeah.
And they were like $50 a piece. I'm a truck driver, so I said, fuck it.
Shout out to our truck driver listeners out there.
Yeah.
Delivering them hot loads where they need to go.
Hot loads over all the roads. I did trim my beard though. I probably look crazy for the first.
Well, it's summer. It's almost summertime, and it's gonna be like shillelagh balls hot soon.
So before we get fully started, let's address.
I apologize for. I said the S word. I shouldn't have said that.
I'll beep it. I'll catch it. Let's address.
I should have said fecal.
Let's address the elephant in the room.
The figurative and literal elephant in the room.
Super producer Pallet's not going to be here on this episode.
He'll be here for the soon.
Yeah, he comes back this week. He's out on vacation out in Minnesota.
Fishing
the Great Lakes, doing what you do as you do. So
I would say he's going to swim across like Lake Superior, but I don't even know if Lake Superior's in.
That's the one.
Okay.
I believe that's the one. Let's you know what? Let's take a look. Let's punch it in the Google.
I would be impressed if he could do that. It'd be quite the feat.
I wonder if anybody's ever swam across it. So it is touching Wisconsin, Michigan.
Tom Green swam across Lake. Was it Lake Washington? Remember that show he had way back? Yeah. I'm still impressed by that.
Lake Superior's right here, so it touches.
We're gonna have a show where I swim across like Silverwood or something like that. And
dude,
you got no big deal. No big deal. It can be done. Wisconsin,
Minnesota over here to the left.
You'll be there on like a jet ski with some water weenies in case I get in trouble. Cheering me on.
I will be the homie of all homies. So you know what? Me and Miklos tried to swim across Silverwood Lake. Actually, yeah. I got about a quarter of the way when I realized I better turn around.
It's probably a half mile. It may be longer than that. Maybe it might be 3/4 of a mile. It's a gnarly swim.
Yeah, I made it about a quarter of the way. Let's see if anybody swam across Lake Superior. Vicky Keith reflects on crossing the Great Lakes.
So proud of him.
I assume it's a her, Vicky. Maybe not. It's a dude. You're right.
It's usually an older white guy. I mean, I'm not trying to be make hurtful stereotypes, but it's usually an older white guy who is into it,
82 miles.
Woo!
Hot diggity dog.
To drive 82 miles is not easy, right? Or I mean, it's not like
that's like a 4-hour drive in California.
I mean, you don't want to drive 82 miles to go somewhere. It's annoying, right? But to swim 82 miles that's
to swim a mile. Holy
do you see the lady there's an English lady, white lady, who swam across the English Channel, and it was it was brutal. She did it, but it took her like a day and a half or something. But
was that the one that said she was getting bitten by octopus or something like that?
I don't know what octopus would f with you if you're swimming.
I saw
a squid for sure would. Oh man, I said the f word again.
We're 7 minutes in. I've dropped 3 S's, 2 F's. Whatever, we came in hot with this episode. We're not even going to be monetized. I'll be surprised by this time next month once we start posting them if we get more than 30 views on this one, and that's optimistic. So we got some stories. We got some stories to get into, but first let's. I just load what comes across my algorithm, so I have no idea what this is going to be.
So sad that Steve Jobs died of ligma.
Who the hell is Steve Jobs?
Ligma balls.
You are now breathing manually. You are now aware of your time. You are now aware that your toes are always touching each other. You are now blinking manually. You are now aware of the fact that your clothes
no
are
idea what this
touching your
is.
skin. You are now aware that your jaw has weight and you are holding it up. You are now salivating and swallowing manually.
So sad that Steve Jobs died of.
So that's my algorithm.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs died of ligma. Did Steve Jobs actually do anything good? This is a question. Answer down in the commentorinos or email me. Was he just the CEO, or was he actually an inventor?
I do not. I am the wrong person to ask this question, but I can tell you that he's a successful businessman, and he hired the right people to help him produce the iPhone and the Macintosh computer. And I'm not quite sure how he did it. I don't know how many of like the software or the hardware for Macintosh and Apple computers he came up with. There's a documentary on it, I think, and I have not watched it. I do not know a lot about Steve Jobs.
We're so off center. We're gonna get so much how off center I set up the camera.
It's fine.
I don't even care. We're not here for quality.
I moved it a little bit, so it could be on me.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
We're gonna,
other way.
You got to scoot in towards me. There we go. I did give you a telescopic microphone for that reason. Hey, that's all good. So we're probably in someone's pocket as they're mowing the lawn right now. How you doing, Randy from Winnetka? Nice to see you, Randy from Winnetka.
Shout out to Randy. He's been there since the beginning.
Yep. He's our third listener, man. I got some serious bags. You could tell I slept so well last night.
I did not sleep well, but I didn't stay. I mean, I didn't hang out with people late, so I got that going for me.
We got some articles you turned in. I kind of want to get into this one because I heard about it, but I don't know anything about it. About that couple who found like $100,000 or something like that.
See, if I did this, I would not find anything cool like this. I would find depleted uranium rounds, and I would get deathly ill and probably dead in like 3 weeks from radiation poisoning. And I'd find like a tire,
Oh, of course, there's tires everywhere. We established that when we saw a camel just smoking like a toddler.
Yeah.
What?
In defense of the camel,
we need a little monkey.
I think that kid was going to whip the camel with that.
It looked
cord.
like he came up with the cord, huh?
Yeah.
And the camel's like, I'm sick of this shit. So I had heard this. You sent this to me earlier today. I had heard a magnet fixture caught a safe full of $100 bills.
Yeah.
He says, emphasize the he says. So let's see.
That does not look like recent.
No,
current,
that definitely looks like old money.
Yeah.
But excuse me. Why am I yawning? James Cain has used a powerful magnet to fish all the manner of junk from New York. Oh, now we're getting, funny with it. But he says a stack of $100 bills he found from a safe was something else entirely. So his girlfriend was recording last Friday as he pulled up a slimy safe out of a lake in Flushing Meadows, Corota Park. Famous as the location of the 1939 and 1964 World's Fair. I didn't know we had a World's Fair in 64. I wasn't alive, but still.
When was the Seattle one? That they made the needle for, or
Space
was like
Needle? That would have been like the
prominently
70s?
featured at it.
I think that would have been like the 70s.
Okay,
I've been up that thing more than a handful of times. Me and James went up there one time. They got this camera you can control with a stick, and you watch it on TV, and you can like zoom in and zoom out. And me and James saw this lady walking with her grocery bags, and James said, "Wouldn't it be funny if she fell?" I'd be like, "It'd be extra funny if there were eggs in that bag." Not even a minute later, she stumbled over a curb, fell, and eggs came spilling out and broke. And we were dying laughing.
Yeah. The comedy gods heard you.
It must have. It was hilarious. We tried it again with a guy on a bicycle. It didn't happen again. So they pulled up a safe out of the lake, and somebody said, "Oh, there's money," Cain said in the video. So there's a video of it. We should be able to find a video, huh?
Let's watch it.
I'd rather watch it than I don't want these people hearing me read at my 5th grade level. How much money was it? Why don't they have the video on here?
I read some, not to bash on Americans, but I read some like statistic that like 40 or 50% of the country can only read at a 5th grade level or something like that.
I heard we were only supposed to read. I heard once you graduate high school, that's technically only a 6th grade level. Let's see what this video says.
Compared to, like, I wonder what they're measuring it off of, like European standards, like Chinese standards.
I always wondered that when they say, only blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but compared to what?
Yeah.
What is even a 6th grade level?
Yeah.
But let's see what this
were they saying like, oh, well, half the country can't read and like articulately understand the brothers Karamazov, so therefore all Americans are dumb.
And where exactly? It's like what do they consider? It's like, do you read peer reviewed physics journals? Does that skew the data? Like, what do they even mean 6th grade? So I don't know. But hold on one second. Next person to subscribe wins a 1980s Tops football unopened Tops football.
What's the year again? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
It's 1990.
Okay.
Tops football special 1,000-yard club glossy
Nice.
card inside.
There could be a Deion Sanders in there.
There
There could be
be.
an Emmitt Smith.
And this is a real promise that I'm making.
Yeah.
I'm 100% promising you that there's no
We're not messing
exaggeration.
around, people.
But let's check out this video.
You could get some
You could win.
some toxic bubblegum from the 90s and a Steve Young,
Yep. Rookie.
card.
I don't know. I think Steve Young wasn't a rookie in the 90s. Actually, let's put this on Instagram.
We're going to become a sports podcast, I think.
It would be so ironic because I don't give a shit about sports.
Yeah. we'll be talking about like tennis in the late 90s. Oh, I got to put my phone on silencio.
We're about to watch a video about some guy who found gold. And we're going to give away this 1990s unopened Topps football card pack if you subscribe to the Fatal Lunch podcast.
I'd rather have that than a bar of gold. That's all I'm saying.
Anything could be in here. Steve Young, you could get a what's his name from the Chiefs? He came from the 49ers. Oh, Joe
Montana.
Joe Montana. You get a Joe Montana?
I think he was already retired by the
in 1990. No, I watched him until like 94 or something.
He might have been towards the end of his career at that point. And,
regardless, hey, when the podcast goes live in a week, first 4 episodes posted, subscribe and win this. I'm being 100% genuine. You see podcast people, I'm being serious. I said it into Instagram.
Listen, it's a steal.
All right, let's get into this story.
Okay. We'll have more like fun kind of like WTF gifts for the fans.
Why am I not hearing anything?
There is a lot of peat or soot or whatever that is at the bottom of that lake.
Apparently there's no sound to this video. What did I do wrong? Y'all gonna have to hold on for 1 second. Control.
We can cut it out. They'll never know.
No, we'll leave it in. We'll leave it right here. We'll leave it right here. We're just gonna take a look at the safe. So this is all I was curious to know is what it looked like. So there he goes. So this is the moment he's like, "Oh my God, I think that's money."
That's an impressive hat, I must say.
I would have. No, that's new money. Did you see the blue stripe?
Yeah,
that's a newish money.
The one bill looked kind of old, and then like it showed a Benjamin, and
like it
was kind of colorful.
Maybe it's stolen. I wonder how are you going to dry that out. I'm sure you could turn that into the treasury, but how much did they say?
So did someone rob a bank, and they're like, "Listen, I'm going to bury it in this creek. I'll come back in 5 years when I get paroled, and it's going to be sitting here waiting for me, and I'll take my cousin aunt's former roommate out to Denny's, and it'll be a flex." Is that? Do you think that's what they were thinking?
Who knows? We could say they were thinking anything. Maybe he shoved it up, get it out of his grandpa's house, and he couldn't hold it anymore. I wonder how much they found though.
For 30 years, he held this uncomfortable hunk of metal up. No NVA is getting his hands on his son's birthright. Remember
Pulp Fiction? Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah, we great minds think alike.
I don't know how much they found. I just thought that was interesting. So it was a magnet fisher who found it.
I have serious doubts that girl actually is in Mexico right now.
Which girl?
The ad of like the really pretty attractive lady holding a Mexican flag.
Oh, is that what was there? I didn't even see it.
That's all right.
We got this $30 million stolen. Do you want to get into that?
Oh, yeah.
I guess this is the update. I don't remember the original story. Like I said, I don't.
So do you remember that like famous mob heist from the 80s? That kind of like the movie like Goodfellas is about a little bit?
No.
Okay.
Refresh my memory.
It's if you watch if you ever seen Goodfellas, it's a great movie, by the way. It's Scorsese. Where he's done some great stuff.
More of a Great Fellows fan.
Yes, I hear you on that.
Goodfellas, is that the one with Ray Liotta?
Yes.
Oh, that's a damn good movie. Yeah, that's a good movie.
It's top tier Scorsese. Anyways,
some would say he peaked back then.
A conversation for another day. He's I have not seen The Irishman. A lot of people like The Irishman, but they
get compared to Goodfellas or Casino though. Did he do Casino?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
he did
those
Casino.
movies
Casino is
it's very good.
Fantastic.
I would say out of all of those movies that are in conversation, like the Scarfaces and the Godfathers, those movies are way better. Scarface sucked. Godfather's boring.
Godfather's
amazing. It's not realistic.
It's amazing. I love it. It's one of the best. It's one of the best movies ever made.
No,
it's up there with like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You are insane.
And Forrest Gump.
It's so fake.
And
Mobsters
from Justin to
didn't
Kelly. And
But anyway, so what happened with this?
anyways, but that was based off of a real heist that actually went down. I think it might have been the late 70s that it went down. So they cover it in the in Goodfellas. Anyway, so
yes,
this
vaping.
heist might
I'm quitting
actually
soon.
this heist might actually beat that heist.
So originally, they stole $30 million.
Yeah. From in Sylmar. So somehow they broke into a facility in Sylmar.
What did the facility do? Why did they just have $30 million?
Well, it's a factor. It's like a holding facility for like the armored vehicles that transport trucks.
Oh, okay, so like a Securitas or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. It's
gotcha. So on Easter
Allied
Sunday,
Barton or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was facility that like held on to cash for like different banks and different businesses that need like, money delivered to them. And so they figured out how to break into it, and they stole $30 million, I think, on Easter Sunday.
Yeah, so Easter Sunday,
and they got away scot free. As far as I know, there hasn't been any like updates or on the story about like that they have a suspect or like that they've caught anyone or like they have a lead. So it's while everyone was eating honey baked ham, they were
no, it was at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So the baked ham eating was probably already done by this point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey man, you come up on 30 mil, you could buy
Garda World.
You could buy some premier honey baked ham.
Okay, so it was like the place called Garda World.
Yeah.
Global cash management. So it's an inside job.
Yeah.
Clearly it's an
inside job. Yeah.
Just look for the 5 people who didn't show up to work on Monday.
Yeah.
And start there. That's what I would do at least.
Now those security guards that were there, all of them are probably in Guantanamo Bay right now, and we'll never see them.
Yeah, well, it says that the FBI is being extremely tight-lipped about what they know. It's believed that the burglars stole as much as $30 million from the facility, making it the biggest cash heist in the city's history, according to Los Angeles Times, which broke the news of the crime. The amount would also surpass the armored car heist in Los Angeles, the outlet reported. The complexity of the operation and the level that appears to have gone into it suggests an experienced crew was behind it, or people who work there. I mean, that's what I would say.
It was like some ex-Navy SEAL, ex-Special Forces guys that did it. I don't know, man. It's pretty, like, it was pretty crazy. Because they had to hack through a bunch of security systems and stuff.
It says no, not one alarm was triggered.
Yeah. So like you said, it was for sure an inside job.
Yeah, because the missing cash was not discovered until operators opened the business vault the following Monday.
So I guess a couple police officers showed up to check the area because some people complained about loud noises or something. They didn't see any suspects, and I guess they missed the giant hole in the side of the building, and like the burglar tools and stuff and drills, which I think they found that like later in the day. But they were not caught. They got away scot free.
Do false alarms at Garda World ahead of the heist provide clues? So maybe like,
I mean, all the money's insured, so that it's not like Garda World's going to lose anything. They're going to get they'll get.
Well, it is American currency. It's essentially worthless.
Yeah. Especially now that the Saudis ended the petrodollar arrangement, and so.
Well, we'll keep on top.
The U.S. dollar is not the world's reserve currency anymore, so that's going to come back to bite us in the backside in a few years.
By the way, the image provided by Will is our friend Monkey riding in an F-22, being chased by what looks like Chinese spy balloons. Thought that was a good image.
Yeah,
it's the one we chose to open the.
It took me a while to make this. To get he's supposed to be smoking a cigar, but I got AI just didn't.
Let's look close and see.
AI program couldn't get. I couldn't get it to like. It only put so many details in the art. I wrote a couple paragraphs and it just ignored about half what it's.
Pretty good looking F-22 though. Yeah. Pretty detailed. Pretty good.
It's a fantastic piece of art.
But
so if you don't know where the art's from, it's from our last show or 2 shows ago. We talked about like the North Korea. There was a feud between South Korea and North Korea, and North Korea was sending trash balloons and poo into South Korea, and like the South Korean like hazmat teams had to clean it up, and then they got pissed and decided that they were going to restart their their anti-North Korea propaganda like campaign again. So
Sorry.
go back and listen to our old episode if you want to get the lowdown on that. It was pretty funny.
The low main.
Yeah.
My mic just fell off the table. Hold on one sec.
Yeah.
You know what? North Korea has got me in such a mood. Let's hit it with another clip. What else do I got out here today?
So we'll.
Oh, this one's beautiful. Beautiful.
Look out!
I told you I got a couple longer ones today. I don't even think this is supposed to be funny, and it's hilarious.
I love it. How do we know they're going to heaven? Maybe they just like Dillingered a bank or something and massacred a bunch of people with Tommy guns. You know, these 5-year-olds.
That was the clip that literally just came across my algorithms. You'd think it'd be like fitness butts, and no, it's that kind of stuff.
That's my algorithm.
Let's see what else. We got room for one more.
Well, there probably won't be anyone here. And if there is, they'll probably think I'm some kind of jerk for wanting just 2 potatoes.
Hi, sir. May I help you with something?
Well, I only wanted 2 potatoes for baking, but if I have to take this package of 4, I will.
No, sir. If you only want 2 potatoes, that's what I'd like you to have, and it'll just take a moment to bag you up, too. Here you are, sir. Will there be anything else I can get for you?
No, that's all I have on my list for now.
Why? What is that even from? And why did I watch it 4 times while making my feet go numb on the toilet the other day?
Customer service. Can we get back to customer service? If you want 2 potatoes, you should only get 2 potatoes.
That's what I've literally been saying since I was 6. I only want 2 potatoes.
Yes.
But if I have to buy all 4, I'll buy all 4.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Now, listen, if that dude was really playing 4D chess and he's not, what you should do is buy the 4 potatoes. You only eat the 2 potatoes, and the other 2 you use for projectiles with your potato gun.
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Or bring a pot of water to boil, add 2 potatoes, boil for 14 minutes, pull them out, mash them up, keep the skin on, mix in 3 tablespoons of butter, half a cup of heavy cream, half a cup of milk, salt, pepper, smash to taste.
Sour cream.
Throw it back in the microwave for another 4 minutes to get it boiling hot, and pour it over your infant child's head. Give them a nice scar, make them look good, and that kid grows up. Oh, I want to know how I got these scars. Mashed potatoes. One more clip, and then we'll get into a story.
Okay.
I loaded a bunch of clips today. I want to get through.
I thought.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, this one's cool, actually.
So this here is not an ant. This is another crazy invertebrate mimic. This is actually a jumping spider, an ant mimicking jumping spider. You can see the front antenna are actually another set of legs. So they do have 8 legs, and when he turns around here, you can actually see those 2 giant eyes, front-facing eyes that jumping spiders have. I love watching jumping spiders. You can really see their little brain working. But yeah, they are an amazing mimic. This is a little bit more zoomed out. You can see he's about the size of a grain of rice. And when he's moving quickly, you'd never be able to tell without getting a really close look that this is actually a spider. They also have large eyes on the side of their head. On the dark ones, it's really hard to see, but they come in red also. And then they have big black eyes on the sides of their heads to really look like an ant.
Don't they dance?
Some of them do. I'm sure that one does.
This one's lame. It's not dancing.
It also helps them avoid predators. This here is a normal jumping spider, where you can see
we have those
really
here.
That midsection on the ant mimicking spiders is crazy. Where most spiders
this
are
one's
just
neat.
the 2 body parts. And here's another amazing animal mimic. This is a wasp mantid fly, which is actually a lacewing that's mimicking a mantis, which is mimicking a wasp. So another crazy example of evolution.
Isn't that crazy?
Thanks for
Do you know what a lacewing is, right? We get them here every year, the green bugs with the clear wings.
I do not know what a lacewing is.
Once you see it, you'll know what it is. These things.
I know what a house centipede is, but
not space wing. These little green guys.
What is the evolutionary advantage for a spider to LARP as an ant?
So,
I'm dumb. I don't know these things, BJ, so please enlighten me.
But anyway, these little green guys, these are lacewings. You've seen them before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that thing was a lacewing pretending to be a praying mantis, and that praying mantis was pretending to be a wasp. Isn't that the craziest thing? Does that make sense to you?
Nature is an arms race. I get it.
But apparently those spiders pretend to be ants. They can actually infiltrate the ant colony and kind of mine it for resources because the ants kind of think it's an ant.
Yeah.
And they could like kill the queen and take its place or something like that. And then the ant colony just uses up its resources and dies. And then that spider either gives birth or moves on or something.
It's
but yeah,
double agent ant.
Yeah. Selective pressure. But I got the AI Turing test and something I just labeled Jesus Witch. These are all stories you sent me. You want to go over one?
Oh yeah, sure.
It's a Turing test. Do you want to? You can pull it up on your computer if you want to read along.
Okay, we'll do the Turing test right now.
Pull it up and read. You read along. I'll rest my lazy voice for a few minutes.
The Chat GPT-4 has passed the Turing test. Researchers claim. Okay, so this is from because we don't plagiarize on the show.
Live Science.
From Live Science. Okay, we cite sources. You know, that's what we do. Most people
we also acknowledge our monkey friend.
Monkeys are.
I hate having to reach over to the producer's seat, man. I can't wait for that guy.
He vets all of our articles, make sure they're legit. Most people couldn't distinguish ChatGPT from a human responder, suggesting the famous Turing test has been passed for the first time. We are interacting with artificial intelligence online, not only more than ever, but more than we realize. So researchers asked people to converse with 4 agents, including 1 human and 3 different kinds of AI models, to see whether they could tell the difference. The Turing test, first proposed as the imitation game by computer scientist Alan Turing in 1950. For history nerds out there, Alan Turing's kind of a big deal. He helped the Allies shorten. He helped the Allies crack the Germans' Enigma code, which was the code that the Germans used to send like military communications everywhere in Europe, and it was thought to be like uncrackable because it changed. I can't remember the time frame or something, but in order to crack it, you would have had to have like been able to like decipher 30 million messages in like an hour or something like that. And anyways, the Allies could never crack it. They had their best code breakers working on it, and none of them could crack it. And that's how the Germans sent all their like communications to like U-boats and stuff. And anyway, so Alan Turing came up with a device that was able to crack it. And I think in 1943, the Allies cracked it finally because of Alan Turing, because he's a genius and he's like the father of the modern computer. And we were able to start just wrecking German U-boats in the English Channel and all over like the Atlantic, and just start sinking them because we knew where their locations were.
Didn't he die a castrated psychopath loner?
He died a horrible, horrible death, and I don't know if we want to get into that right now, but it's kind of a sad story because
he was gay and they didn't like that.
He was a hero, and he for sure helped the Allies. He probably did more than any like general in the Allied general. He did more than like Patton or like Eisenhower at like defeating the Germans by cracking this code. So by him cracking that code, we knew where all the Germans like troop transports were, where their ships were, and it was a huge like game changer in World War II. And unfortunately, because he was a gay man, he got caught with a prostitute, I think, like a year or so after the war, and the British government, in very ironic Nazi fashion, forced him to take like chemically castrate himself. So he'd have to drink like a concoction of like acid or something, or just some kind of crazy powerful hormone that would sterilize him, and that made him. He had a psychotic. He went crazy from doing that, and he
killed himself.
And he killed himself. Yeah. So it's a real. So they couldn't.
Story.
They couldn't. It's too early for me to be doing history lessons right now, but so that they couldn't like give out his achievements and everything he did to help the Allies win World War II, because it was top secret, and it didn't come out till years later. It's a sad story. It's unfortunate, but yeah, the dude's a hero. There should be a giant like golden statue of him somewhere. Now I think, I guess better late than never, the British government did apologize for it. I think in like the 80s or the 90s or something. Maybe the 90s they officially apologized for it and gave him credit for everything. But a little late, yeah.
Too little, too late. So, Mr. Turing, we salute you.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of salute. What's a good salute for? Hey, there you go, Mr. Turing. Hey, yeah.
We'll give him the Spaceball salute. I don't know, yeah, but the dude's an absolute hero. A very eccentric guy, very, very weird, very kind of like OCD. A lot of people said he was kind of like socially awkward and weird, and I don't know how much of that is true, but it's a great movie about him. I don't know how like historically accurate it is, but it's a dope movie. It's got Keira Knightley in it, and
Keira Knightley plays Alan Turing?
No.
Wow, that's method.
She's like his friend, she's also like a genius and like a code breaker, and she helps him like.
I bet, and historically, if she's a real person, we'll never know who she is really, because she's a woman. So it took them this long to recognize Alan Turing.
Yeah.
One day we might figure out who Margaret whatever was.
Yeah. So anyways, watch The Imitation Game. It's a great movie, and Alan Turing came up with all the like he invented the modern computer, and it's some people think that like if he, this is all speculation, but if he didn't die, but if he was around for a couple more decades after World War II, we would have been farther along with like computers, and we would have had like the internet sooner than like the 90s. We may have had like the internet in like the 70s or something. Some people think if he lived. So yeah, it's really tragic, but
thanks, Obama.
The dude's it's all Obama's fault.
But all right, let's give our tribute. I just wanted to give a little break off a little piece from Mr. Turing. I'm actually very familiar with him, and I think he's a badass who doesn't get exactly. Everybody talks about Tesla. Tesla was a hack. I'm throwing that out there right now. That dude died. By the time he was dead, he was saying things like he was talking to aliens on Mars, and then an invention would come along. He said, I invented that 20 years ago. The guy, way overrated. People like Turing, who made a real difference in this world, get overlooked all the time.
Yeah. So I think the sad thing is he hired a gay prostitute, and the prostitute robbed him. I think the prostitute beat the crap out of him and stole a bunch of money from him and ran off. And I think like in a panic, he called the cops, and then they found out that he was gay. And they're like, oh, well, we know you got the shit beat out of you by this crazy, like, psychotic, prostitute. But, homosexuality is illegal. So we're going to throw the book at you and not worry about getting you your property back or anything, or acknowledge.
That's how Dahmer got away with it for so long, because he was butchering dudes. The cops caught him in the act of murdering a Filipino teenager, and they let him go. They gave the teenager back to Dahmer because they're like, this is just some weird gay shit. This is over our pay grade.
Yeah. Anyways, like if the fans want, we'll do a show on Turing. He's a genius. I'll have to read some of his. He contributed a lot to like AI and to like philosophy and stuff. And he came up with this thing called the Turing test, which is just like how you.
Which we're gonna go over in this article now, because that's where we left off.
It has to do with like machine learning and how is like artificial intelligence impossible, and how a computer can make decisions on its own and become self-aware. And he said yes, it could happen. And a lot of people said no, it couldn't happen. But we'll do an episode on Turing. He's an OG. If the fans want, we'll talk more about him. But let's get back to the article for now. Now that I went off on like a 5-minute like backstory.
It's
on
all
Turing.
good. We're halfway through the thing. It's 40 minutes. But
anyway, back to. Sorry for going off a tangent, folks. But I just thought
it's worth mentioning Mr. Turing. Yeah. Also, if it looks brighter all of a sudden, I realized I hadn't turned the brightness up on our studio lights because I set this all up in a hurry this morning. I ate about 3 pounds of pancakes for breakfast. I'm not a pancake eater, but then when I crave them, I go ape shit on them. And I feel absolutely sick right now, and all I smell is syrup all over my body. It's like one of the only curry, syrup, and sometimes mustard. You can just smell it on you the entire day after you eat it.
I love spicy food, but it wrecks my GI tract man. But it's amazing. But listen, you will rarely hear me agree with the French, but the pancakes, it's too filling, just you need the crepe, a little
I
pancake.
I
don't want the cake, I just want a little tiny pancake,
What I do is
worst French accent ever.
I'm sure there could be worse French accents, but I water my batter down, and I make them like somewhere between a crepe and a pancake. I
Yeah.
like them thinner like that. They absorb the syrup better that way. I don't like the big fluffy cakey ones. Those suck. I don't even really like pancakes. I just was craving them today.
I love pancakes, but they are very filling.
I like the cheese.
So I'm with. I think the crepes are superior. They're not so filling.
Never had a crepe. Isn't that insane?
Yeah. Everything else America does is superior to France, except for crepes. Crepes are better than the American pancake.
Well,
I know that's a hot take, and it's probably going to get us demonetized in like hot water. But
say that the French ran Louisiana a little bit better than we do,
Uh-huh.
but that's a story for another time.
well, why were the founding fathers able to sell them down the river? Because we got the Louisiana Purchase for like a book of stamps and like $5.
Essentially,
and a slinky,
I'm just saying,
a
there's
used slinky.
probably less crime and pollution in Louisiana when the French were in control. Just saying. But all right, back into this Turing test. So AI, by the way, I'm not scared of AI. I love it. I love what's going on. The AI art, the AI music. I think it's all great. It's an equalizer. Yeah. And my favorite part is everybody's been like, the robots are taking the factory jobs. They're going to take the construction jobs. And guess what they're taking? Your jobs, you computer programming dorks who look down on everybody. Oh, I know how to paint. Oh, just shut up. AI knows how to paint.
Yeah.
And at the end of this episode, guess what? We're going to listen to a better song than anything Cyndi Lauper ever wrote. And you can go home and take that with you. Actually, I have no problem with Cyndi Lauper. I just wanted to choose a neutral.
Well, programmers were like, well, we'll invent robots and they'll take the jobs of dumb people. Like you and me, like truckers, like people who do construction, people who work at like fast food restaurants. But no, who are the robots' jobs taken? Programmers. Yeah. So listen,
the quote unquote skilled laborers. AI is. You know how hard it is to build an articulating robotic arm? Now imagine building a whole robotic human and then putting AI in it.
Yeah.
Or you just leave it in the box and it codes programs for waffles and or it codes for Google. I heard that a bunch of companies have already started layoffs with AI.
Yeah.
So all you dorks who talk, learn to code, learn to shut up.
Yeah. Learn to drive a truck or to weld. Shout out to our trucker friends out there. Shout out
to
a hard job, man.
Shout out to our computer programmer friends. I got a couple of those. I'm just messing around. I just think I'm being obviously like hyperbolic, but it is funny what jobs it's coming for the things you wouldn't think, like the creative jobs, the more sort of less defined jobs, because artist is such a weird art itself is such a weird concept, because what is art? Art is
the class. Well, I promise, folks. I know we went off on a tangent, and we're off in the woods right now.
These are more interesting conversations.
We'll get back to the article.
When the podcast is organic and we're talking like we do. The reason we started this, by the way, this is Will, PJ. We've been friends for 20 years, and when the midnight moon is calling and the moonshine is crawling and the cigars sparks.
You're being very poetic right now, and I'm having a hard time following you. But it's beautiful though. Keep going.
When we were younger and drunk, and it was like midnight, we'd have these crazy conversations. Like when we're like, podcast came around, we talked about doing it forever, never took the first step. Now that we're, are you 40 yet, Will?
I will be in September.
You'll be 40 this year. I'll be 40 in 2 years.
I'm already going through a midlife crisis.
Well, that's why we're blasting ourselves all over the fucking internet. As a matter of fact, let's put our whole fat 40-year-old bodies as the main focus as we talk about AI. But
I'll lose weight, folks. I promise. I'll be. I'm gonna look like David Goggins.
Promise them.
I'm gonna look like David Goggins in like a year. All right.
No, don't worry about what they think. We're here doing our thing. But yeah.
Wait. I feel like I sidetracked us. We're on a good conversation
about the AI, about it like replacing jobs and
yeah.
Like, and then I said, what is art? And then you were going to say something there.
Oh, okay. So the classic definition of art is that it's like finding the beautiful in the world and putting it to like a canvas or on a sculpture and like displaying it as something beautiful or interesting or something higher and suggesting that there's a higher beauty or something platonic and wonderful outside of our world. And it's trying to like lift up the human condition from like the mundane and like the low and like kind of the filthy, and say that no, there's this higher beauty and wonderful thing beyond us, and this world is a shadow of that. I know I'm getting kind of platonic right now, and I apologize to people who don't like Plato or philosophy, but that's kind of what originally like art used to be about. That's why like old buildings, that's why the cathedrals were built. That's why like Renaissance paintings are trying to focus in on beauty and like God and the infinite like transcendent I know I'm getting very platonic right here, but that's what art used to be about, capturing beauty and displaying it to people and trying to lift up people out of like the kind of the misery and kind of ugliness of some of the human condition and the suffering in the world. And there's this beauty that we need to capture and display it in a museum or for people to see. So
I always thought of art as
that's the classic definition of art.
But I always thought of art as like representing, like an alternate representation of ideas. Like a good book can be art, and it is just words, but it helps give you a visual in your head. Or a painting is like a visual representation of like an abstract sort of idea.
Yeah.
By the way, I think
beauty is an abstract idea.
By the way, I was driving my truck at work the other day, and I think I came up with a good definition for life. Sounds weird, but there really is no definition for life. I came up with an organic why can't I remember the freaking self-replicating, an organic self-replicating thing that can detect. Does that make any sense to you? Like, how would you define life? I'm talking everything that's live: bacteria, trees, humans. What separates us from rocks, water, dirt? I think it would be an organic, self-replicating thing that can detect. Like, we can see and hear, bacteria can feel, rocks can't do any of that. They're organic, but they're not self-replicating.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because people always fight over, like, define what is life. Like, give me a definition of what is life. And every definition people come up with, oftentimes it's fallible, because certain things can do things that alive things can do. Like, water has motion. Water can move. Water can change to different forms. But I think me and you would agree that that's not life.
Agreed.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then
that's more like energy or motion or.
Well, yeah, it was just
like,
a thing. Water's just a thing.
Yeah.
It's just hydrogen and oxygen, and then whatever else contains inside.
But, I mean,
like whale semen.
It's from simplicity to complexity, right? Because you're getting like the oxygen atom and you're mixing it with hydrogen, and now you get this more complex, interesting thing.
Well, that's the theory.
That's going from the simple to the more complex.
Yeah, and that's called the theory of assembly theory, which is a really cool theory. It's been around for a little bit, not too long, but it's gaining more. And there goes our camera.
There goes our camera.
Assembly theory.
All right, so it's audio only now, folks, but it's fine. We'll fix it for next week.
You know, I'm gonna hit him. I
would like a basic biological. There's more to life than just this, but I think like the basic biological definition of life is like something that like needs energy, that like can replicate itself, that moves, and
but lava needs energy.
Is like instinctually driven to like survive and to acquire more energy.
But that's not a great definition of life, because trees.
It's a good biological definition.
Trees don't instinctually survive.
Yeah, well, they're alive though; they grow,
but they don't.
They're interested in survival.
But
right,
but you can't really test that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you need a good basic.
A tree's closer to being alive than
a tree is definitely alive.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying to define life is kind of hard, because you can poke holes in it. And I'm trying to remember if that's exactly how I worded it. It was just an interesting thought I was having. But you know what? Let's hit him with a clip real quick.
Yeah. Well, there's non-life. There's like rocks, right? And atoms and like subatomic particles, and then there's something which is made of those things, but it has its own volition, and it moves, and it collects energy, and it competes with other things to survive for limited resources, right? So that's kind of like a difference between inanimate objects. And by inanimate, I don't mean something that just doesn't move. I just mean that something that's not like thinking or living or trying to like collect energy to continue to grow and thrive and produce offspring.
This camera thing is really going to irk me, because it's been working the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
I'm just hit
my top 10 favorite things to yell at the airport. Number 1, Allah Akbar. Number 2, help. Okay. Number 3,
that was great.
Down.
Run.
Jamie, cut his mic.
Number 4, gun. Here are my top 10 favorite things to yell at the airport.
Adam Ray's getting
1,
ridiculous, man.
Allah Akbar. Number 2, help.
Okay.
Number 3,
I'm going to have to shut this down.
Run.
Jamie, cut his mic.
Number 4, gun. Here are my top.
See what else I got. Oh yeah, dunking on Jesus. I just want to run through a couple of these, and then we'll just shut her down. You got a lunch to go to. We did an hour. It's almost an hour,
Okay.
so it's not like it was a short one. We're going to pick back up with this, the AI passing the Turing test next week.
Yeah, how about I finish the article first, and then
Okay, we'll finish the article.
So we'll do that.
Let me run a-
I
let me
promise the listeners that
I think it's kind of funny that we never got back to it. Some people are just banging their keyboards right now. Let me just run one more clip in real quick.
But,
oh, yeah, this one's good.
one of the problems with, I'd say, the 20th century is a dude signed a toilet seat and put it in a museum and then said that, like, anything can be art. It's not just the beautiful. And then, I mean, the problem with art, the art classically has always been, like, exclusive. Like, not everything can be art, right? Because if everything is art, then nothing is art. And this is kind of the issue with kind of the postmodern definition
Yeah, but that's
of art.
kind of the idea of art. It's a good way. I like the way of looking at it. Like, this is not a pipe.
There's something selective about art, right? It can't just be anything. It can't, if anything is art, then nothing can be art, right? So it's like selective and discriminatory in its very nature. It separates itself from other things. And classically, it's been something that, like, gives you an idea about the human condition, or like signifies beauty or truth, or like a higher mode of living.
That's an idea of art, but
that's what most like classic artists were kind of aiming for.
Yeah, the ones. Like this picture, perfect example. This famous painting. This is not a pipe. Is the caption underneath it, and it's not a pipe. It's a painting of a pipe.
Yeah.
But essentially, this is a stupid painting. But also not really a stupid
This
painting.
is a meme. This is not art.
I'm going to redo this, but with a crystal meth pipe. And be like, this is not a meth pipe. But I always found
That would
this
be funny.
painting interesting. Let's hit him with one more clip.
We'll talk about art later, but that's just my kind of gripe with like modern art. Why it's so ugly and
I
like
like this.
scatological and not interesting or thought provoking anymore. Because it now tries to signify the mundane. If you signify the mundane and everything can be art, then nothing is really art.
I think the CIA using Jackson Pollock to artificially increase the price of art.
Yeah.
Using the most absurd art. I'm not even joking. The CIA artificially inflated the price of art to raise funds for their bidding, and they chose Jackson Pollock as one of their artists, and that is not art. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
In the motherfucking suburbs with it. Rah, bing, bow, bah. Hey, yo, Terry, fuck going on?
We'll finish the article. I'm going to run one more clip.
All right. Eating cornstarch?
Yes. You hear those teeth? Oh, I can't do that one again. Here, let's finish that article real quick, and then I got two more clips to take us out.
The Turing test first proposed. Oh, I read that article. Okay, scientists decided to replicate this test. But I told you we get back to the article, folks. You just have to be patient.
I was hoping we would. No, I want people like, oh, you can't even finish one thing on that podcast.
By asking,
and that's not my goal to piss off anybody. I just think it's funny.
Like, we have ADHD, all right, but we always get back to like when we go off topic, we'll always get back to the topic, This by asking 500 people to speak with 4 respondents, including a human and the 1960s era AI program Eliza. Okay. As well as
Eliza Dushku, Will's favorite.
She's a babe, and go watch what's a good Eliza movie? Wrong Turn. There you go. Go see Wrong Turn, folks. It's a good it's derivative, but it's a good horror movie. As well as both GPT 3.5 and GPT-4. The AI that powers ChatGPT, the conversations lasted 5 minutes, after which participants had to say whether they believe they were taking a human or talking to a human or AI. This is essentially the Turing test, right? So Turing said that like if you were talking to a robot and you couldn't tell the difference between it and a human being, then the robot was sentient or aware.
I don't think sentient or aware. I just think past the Turing test, right?
Yeah, well, passing the Turing test is if you can't tell the difference between the real McCoy and something that's fake, then it's essentially it now has the capacity to be a human being, or like it has the capacity of a humin being.
That makes sense.
If you can't tell the difference between it and the fake thing, so therefore it is now conscious. That's kind of like there might be some problems with that. I'm sure.
I think we're already there.
Yeah.
When Sam Altman left this company mysteriously that one weekend, then was hired by Microsoft, and then rehired by that Monday because of some sort of disagreement. I think it's because people OpenAI. I think that they already got their general. AI.
Yeah.
Their artificial general intelligence. They haven't rolled it out yet, but I think they got it, and I think they're really tripping out on how to roll it out into the world because it is really going to change everything. I always joke like I'm ready for it. I love AI. I think it's awesome. I like the art. I like the music. I like it. Dude, school is so old school. We need to restructure how we teach our children because we're in a frontier that we've never seen before, and our kids are going to be left in the dust because China's probably already adopting these AI models. But
I feel like the Chinese are giving their kids like compounds or drugs to increase their IQ. We should probably be looking into that too. You know, after we fix
giving them all modafinil.
After we fix our dumpster fire culture, and we should look into boosting people's IQs. You know,
with CRISPR technology, and then hook them all up with like what's the ADHD drug I should be taking called?
Strattera.
No, well, okay, we'll go with that one. I was thinking Ritalin.
Okay, yeah.
Get them all jacked up on Ritalin.
Let's just agree with Adderall.
Adderall. There you go.
Yeah.
Have you heard of modafinil?
Yes. I thought that was a narcolepsy drug, not an attention drug.
It's so narcolepsy is a seizure sort of disorder. Well, modafinil, when given to people without narcolepsy, it creates a heightened alertness, gets rid of drowsiness, and is not an amphetamine, so it doesn't raise your heart rate or anything. It'll give you 12 hours of perfect awareness, crisp, like you can pay attention to anything for hours at a time. It's like the best ADHD medicine that they're hiding from us.
I know a lot of different artists and like comedians and like smart people take it to help them if they have trouble like finishing a project it helps them like get like be focused.
Dude, so. What you do is you get yourself like an alpha brain. You take that, then you take creatine, and then modafinil, and then while you're on all that drink some coffee and chew some nicotine, and you're at every single level attention forward. Now, by day 2, you might be pulling your hair out.
Yeah.
But, you know, don't do any of what I just told you. I am not a medical expert. I'm going to qualify.
You'll finish your great novel, your Tolstoyan novel. You'll finish your War and Peace, whatever that is. You know, your 50 Shades of War and Peace. You know, so that's good.
And as he approached to council, pulled out his giant throbbing.
Like I heard, lizard people like Hillary took modafinil suppositories when she wanted to figure out how to like dethrone Gaddafi because he was challenging the dollar. You know, so she was like, how can I murk Gaddafi?
Was Gaddafi really that bad? I've heard mixed things about that guy. I heard he wanted to be left alone. Was he a butcher though? Was he like a real evil guy? Or was he just a weird eccentric gay dude?
We'll talk about Gaddafi because he's a fascinating character. I would be more pro Gaddafi. I'm a little pro Gaddafi. The problem is there's a lot of allegations that he had a teenage girl armed guards, and he was like molesting them and like having them as like a sex slaves and stuff. And so I don't know if this is true or not, but
we had an island of that.
I know.
So good. I'm not saying it's good.
Yeah, but we're on top of the world, so our leaders can get away with it, you know, because they call the shots right now for now. That may be changing soon, but you know. Anyway, so yeah, we'll get into the Michael Jackson scale that is Gaddafi. He did do some good things for sure. He did do some good things. The conspiracy though is that like he wanted to get off the. And it's not even really a conspiracy. It's pretty much been proven true.
He printed his own money.
Yeah. He got tired of the U.S. sanctioning him, so he said, like, America and them, like, putting all these sanctions on me and other countries and preventing my country from economically progressing in the rest of Africa and Asia. I'm going to go to a gold standard, and I'm going to get off the dollar. And then magically, there was a revolution in his country that the CIA and Hillary Clinton and other people and other people in our government may have had a hand in.
The CIA has never meddled. The CIA has never meddled in foreign affairs before.
Yeah, and he had a sword shoved up his ass. But you said, is Gaddafi good or not? He did some good things. He was very totalitarian though, and I know like he threw a lot of people in prison, and he did some bad stuff for sure that you shouldn't do. But we can talk more about that later.
Yeah, we should ask the leading expert in totalitarianism, Julian Assange, about governments that throw people in prison for no reason.
Yeah, that's a hostile rogue actor. We shouldn't talk about him, PJ. He you know,
it's crazy when you hear about the shit other countries are doing, and then you get to an age and realize everybody's doing it.
Yeah,
you're like, okay, are these people even really bad? Saddam Hussein. He was bad, yes. He did genocide a bunch of people. His sons, if they got in power, arguably could have been worse people, so maybe we dodged a bullet. Uday Hussein apparently was like...
I heard that they were like Iraqi brides and stuff and doing horrifying shit.
His special move, Uday's special move was peeling people's face off while they were alive in front of their families.
Yeah,
that was his special move. Turing test. Let's finish this Turing test out.
I don't know how we got into Gaddafi.
This is why the podcast is going to be awesome for all of you who also have ADHD but can follow
this damn article.
Yeah,
and if it,
but
I'll turn this damn article right around. That'll end your precious field trip.
Veronica Vaughn
is hot.
You know what I'm saying? No.
Believe me, I know. Okay.
No, you don't.
Yeah, but you could imagine what it'd be like if I did. If I can't remember what he says.
I'll say word for word. That Veronica Vaughn is one piece of ass. I know from experience, dude. No, you don't. Well, not me, but a friend of mine. Him and her got it on. No, they didn't. Well, yeah, but you could imagine. No, I can't. Everybody on the bus.
Fine, great. No, everybody on the bus. Okay, let me finish this article.
Who could eat 21 children's peanut butter jelly sandwiches?
It's just Billy's like loser friend and Chris Farley eating like kids' lunches.
Just all stoned.
We have to do this. We have to like sneak. We have to like eat lunches from like a kid's field trip to the fair or something, and just like laugh about it and film it.
Oh yes, I love that movie. I gotta watch more movies, man. I'm so bad at watching shit.
It's a classic '90s comedy, man. That will echo into eternity.
I had a stray cat I named Veronica Vaughn.
Really?
Yeah, back.
I remember Orange Guy number 2 and some.
There was Orange Guy, Voodoo, Gus, and for a very short time, Veronica Vaughn, who probably got eaten by coyotes.
When you're a cat in Southern California, that's just that's what you face.
Oh, I meant cougars. A bunch of old ladies ate the cat. No, I'm just joking.
Okay, let me finish this article and then we can go. We'll go. We'll write off.
Write our AI song.
Yeah. We'll write off and do it's about time we hit the old dusty trail.
The old dusty trail.
Okay. Conversations last 5 minutes, after which no more Gaddafi talk, PJ. We got to focus on this article, okay? That's what the people want. Had to say whether they believe they were talking to a human or an AI in the study published May 9th in the preprint gobbledygook word I can't pronounce. The scientists found that participants judged GPT-4 to be human 54% of the time. Eliza, sexy. Why are guys always naming things after chicks' name like new cars and we're going off on a tangent. I gotta focus.
Have you ever seen a woman in your life? That's why.
What is a woman, PJ? What is a woman? A system pre-programmed. You got to give me some modafinil next time for the show, so I don't keep going off topic.
I like the tangents. I got to figure out this camera sitch, folks. If you're still here after the camera cut out, I love you. Thank you.
We love you.
I have a 1990 Topps football card pack waiting for you if you made it this long.
There's going to be more WTF gifts for the fans for sure.
I really will give stuff away. I have no problem with that. We'll just go to Frankensons and pick out a random thing every week to get away.
We're going to buy some monkey action figures and we'll give those to the fans too. Okay.
Monkey.
Eliza, a system pre-programmed. No more of the whatever else we were talking about. A system pre-programmed with responses built with no large language model or neural network architecture was judged to be a human just 22% of the time. GPT 3.5 scored 50%, while the human participant scored 67%. Machines can conflatably mashing together plausible ex post facto, you have to look that word up for me, I don't know what it means, justifications for things as humans do, said Neil Watson.
Spell it, my boy.
Oh, okay. EX POST FAC TO. Not Terrell Owens. He was a great wide receiver. Ex post facto. Yeah, that's it.
As an adjective, it's having retroactive effect or force. Adverb, retroactively. So in the ipso facto, before.
Okay. They can be subject to cognitive bias, bamboozled and manipulated, and are becoming increasingly deceptive. All these elements mean human-like phobiles. Oh, there's another word I don't know. FOIBLES. You don't have to look it up if you don't want.
Well, we're looking up something far more important when we're
reading it. Monkey. All right. He's a part of the show, folks. I mean, he's we're
going to figure out what monkey in particular, but one day with your help and support, faithful listener, we'll figure out what monkey is the monkey we're talking about.
Yeah. We'll give him a backstory.
Could be that guy in the upright corner with the blue face. Could be the guy smiling middle left, or the guy under him with the fantastic nose, that proboscis monkey on the bottom left, could be a proboscis monkey. But one day we will know which one it is. All right, let's finish the story so we can wrap up with our AI song.
Gotcha. They can be subject. Oh, I read that already. Okay, and are becoming increasingly deceptive. All these elements mean human-like fobiles and quirks are being expressed in AI systems, which makes them more human-like than previous approaches that had a little more than a list of canned responses. So, if they're learning human techniques, Goose, this may suggest that they're becoming, dare I say, more human.
More human than human. More, isn't that White Zombie, or is that Rob Zombie?
Oh, I don't even know, man.
More human than human.
Do you think AI will finally teach us what it truly means to be human?
Wouldn't that be ironic? The student becomes the teacher. What if AI is just? What if AI?
Reality is very ironic. Is
AI just reads all of the internet, gets its education from the internet, and is like, "Bro, you're lame." KYS. You're like, "Whoa, what the hell?" It's like he just speaks in Reddit. Excuse me, m'lady.
When did AI turn into 4? It sounds exactly like 4chan. What's going on?
I was gonna make some 4chan reference. Okay. I was about to give away my hand. I do not go on 4chan. I swear.
I don't even know. I just know it's. I just know it's a pop culture take. I don't know much about 4chan.
It's an interesting place.
Yeah, I know. Is it like Rumble interesting or? Let's get back to the article. The study, which builds on decades of attempts to get AI agents to pass the Turing test, echoed common concerns that AI systems deemed humans will have widespread social and economic consequences. The scientists also argued there are valid criticisms of the Turing test being too simplistic in its approach. I'd agree with that. Saying stylistic and socio-emotional factors play a larger, they don't say what those are, play a larger role in passing the Turing test than traditional notions of intelligence. This suggests that we have been looking in the wrong place for machine intelligence. Raw intellect only goes so far. What really matters is being sufficiently intelligent to understand a situation. The skills of others have to have the empathy to plug those elements together. Capabilities are only a small part of AI's value. Their ability to understand the values, preferences, and boundaries of others is also essential. It's these qualities that will let AI serve as a faithful and reliable concierge. Again, I can't pronounce this word. CONCIERGE for our lives.
Concierge.
Oh, concierge. Okay, I guess I don't have a 5th grade reading level. You know, I should go back to elementary school. Watson added. The article's almost over, and now I'm gonna ask you who. You tell me who your favorite robot from Hollywood or like pop culture is, and I'll tell you mine. Watson added that the study represented a challenge for future human-machine interaction, and that we will become increasingly paranoid about the true nature of interactions, especially in sensitive matters. She added, the study highlights how AI has changed during the chat GBT era. Eliza, not a douche-goo.
Real quick, you know what I noticed?
She's not married to me. She's married to like a producer or something.
So many people say chat GBT. It's GPT. I always hear people saying GBT.
The Mandela effect. It's the Bernstein Bears, PJ. All right.
Mandela
I might have said GBT. I meant G.
A lot of people do. I'm just something I noticed you've been doing. I wasn't going to correct it, but I was like
Gary Patrick Tim GPT. I think it's easier to say GBT. That's why people
it definitely
that's
is.
probably what it is. Eliza was limited to canned responses, which greatly limited. This is like the AI program from the 60s, so you know what they got now is just a million times better and more interesting and more complex, which greatly limited its capabilities. It might fool someone for 5 minutes, but soon the limitations would become clear. She said, language models are endlessly flexible, able to synthesize responses to a broad range of topics. They still can't help me get a girlfriend, so they're not that good. Speak in particular languages or sociolects and portray themselves with character-driven personality and values. It's an enormous step forward from something hand-programmed by a human being, no matter how cleverly and carefully. I think that's the end. last sentence. It's an enormous step forward for something hand-programmed by a human being, no matter how cleverly and carefully. That's the end of the article, and as by a gentleman named Drew Turney.
Thank you, Drew.
He's a freelance science and technology journalist with 20 years of experience.
I was going to try to generate some AI images.
So there you go,
while we
folks.
did
That's
that.
the Turing test.
And it seems like GPT may have passed it. Well, we're all either doomed or going to live in an extreme utopian. Is that utopia? Utopian future.
Dystopian, yeah. Utopia is like paradise. It's like
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully, or we may live in a utopia.
Yeah.
Depends on which way.
Well, if we know anything about the universe, by our attempts to build utopia, we will usher in a dystopia, and that's just kind of the way it goes.
I'm trying to see.
Any more thoughts on machine learning, Mr. Paul Jonathan Autonomous, and the Turing test, and
Yeah, I do have a thought, and it's right here.
we're not talking about girls on the internet.
I borrowed your butt plug. Oh, then what's wrong with Mike? Oh my God, is he on Fent again?
Audiobooks.
Wow, did you guys know that America was founded in 1776? Everyone knows that. I'm learning so much from these audiobooks, man. Have you ever seen Limitless? I'm Bradley fucking Cooper.
That's a good
Limitless
movie.
Limitless.
Why were you convulsing?
I'm listening on 10 times speed. This is what Limitless must feel like.
There's no way you're absorbing any of
Watch
that.
this. I'm going unlimited. Holy shit. You guys heard about what happened to the Twin Towers?
Did you not know about 9/11?
Please don't bring it up right now. Oh. Sorry, guys. I went to public school.
Josh's dad was in the North Tower.
I was so close. I'm using 100% of my brain. No, I'm using 108%. Holy shit. Holy fucking shit. You guys should really try it. You can read audiobooks while doing other things like cooking or operating heavy machinery.
Please, don't do either of those things.
Check this out. I'm fucking with this new Bobby Flay tape. Watch this. Flame on.
Jesus Christ, Mike.
More oil, more oil, more oil.
I can't believe he burned her fucking house down.
Hang on. Do you have the keys to the moving truck? It's okay, guys. I got it. I got the driving manual audiobook going right now. Mike! No!
Damn, my asshole feels good right now. I'm using 108% of my prostate. This one's for you, Dad. You guys seen my vibe?
That's my algorithm.
That's your
I
algorithm.
got 2 more clips. Let's get
That's
through
your
it.
algorithm.
That's the chillest bro to ever live. Look at that.
He got real fucking lucky. Let's just put it that way.
Well, he's probably going to die of compartment syndrome or internal bleeding in the next 2 hours, but... Why did he just hit him?
Though.
He didn't do nothing. He's like, what's up, dude? Why'd you hit me?
Oh man, I think he might have hit him harder than I thought.
That dude's straight up in shock. That's what it is.
What country is that in?
Saudi. He's a shovel bill, whatever they call him.
You know, a raptor that can fly.
That dude's dope. I want one.
80% of his brain thinks about murder all day.
Nah, he's a chill bro.
If you make him a pot brownie, he might be chill, but once that wears off, he'll try to kill you again, or
Well, what did we learn today, Will? We learned that Turing died. Sad and alone.
Sad.
We learned. I don't know.
We'll do a podcast on Turing down the road.
Yeah, we'll get some real experts in here. I'm gonna pull up our music AI generator here, and we'll just throw in what style should we do? Let's.
I had an article about how owls how owls are associated with like UFO or abduction
they
scenarios.
They are. I actually have personal experience with that, but maybe we'll bring it up on another.
Is that why I love owls so much?
Could be. So we'll go.
Are they associated with Molech too?
Yeah, that's the god, the effigy Molech.
Yeah, Canaanite god. Well, we can get into that down the road.
What style of music? Let's do emo today. What do you say?
I'm down.
I feel emo.
As long as it's not Buck Cherry.
I like that cocaine. I like that cocaine. So I'll start off with I'll let you start with the first lyrics. I'm gonna right as you hear the beep, you say something about the podcast today. You ready? 3, 2.
Eating some fries with my monkey, shaking the Turing test. It's the best. Got that Kevlar vest. The Fatal Lunch podcast in jest.
Turing died.
Not my best stuff.
Surprisingly, no videos from India today.
Oh, we'll change that for the next episode.
We will definitely change that for the next episode. Giant pelicans from the prehistoric coming to eat the Saudi man who just got hit by a Jeep.
flying raptors? Are they going to usher in a dystopian disaster?
Please make the chorus about the monkey.
Oh, we got the monks, and the punks. Punk's not dead.
Thank you for listening to the Fatal Lunch podcast.
I can't rap, guys. What do you want? You know,
it's an emo song.
Okay.
All right, let's create it. Oh, I didn't even give it a name, I don't think. Surprise with My Monkey. That's the name of the song.
Regurgitating in reverse. I don't know. That's an awful band, by the way.
Okay, so we'll go with the first one, and then we'll fade out the second one.
Surprise with my monkey taking the Turing test. It's the best. I got that Kevlar vest, the Fatal Lunch podcast ingest. Surprisingly, no videos from India. Today I will change after the next episode. We will definitely change up the next episode. Giant pelicans for the prehistoric come to eat the Saudi man who just got hit by a Jeep flight raptors. Are they going to usher in a dystopian disaster? Please make the course about the monkey. I'll be. We got the monks in the pom-poms, not dead.
Oh, man.
Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week, folks. With more content from India and monks, and we'll probably recap the Turing test again.
I promise there'll be 100% more India content next week. 100% more.
And spontaneous combustion.
Oh, I can make that a promise. I'm going to check out the other one.
The owls and UFOs. We'll do that next week.
All right, this is the other version. I like it better already.
I thought it was a simple plan, or a good Charlotte, you know?
Kind of sounded like it. All right, I love you. Fatal Lunch out.
The Fatal Lunch podcast ingest. Surprisingly, no video from India today. I will change it to the next episode. We will definitely change up the next episode. Giant pelicans for the prehistoric come to eat the Saudi man who just got hit by a Jeep flying raptors. Are they going to usher in a dystopian disaster? Please make the quiz about the monkey. I'll be. We got the monks and the punk-punks not dead. Thank you for listening to the podcast. 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 Thank you for listening to the podcast.
I'm gonna get so molested.